What's up, family? Welcome to your weekly reading. I am La Santera. Let me put this down here for a moment so I can shuffle these cards. I thought I would come on live and do the reading because I'm very late. I usually post them in the morning, but this Rona life. So I'm using a new deck, and this is the Afro Goddess Oracle. And so we're gonna do a reading, but also before I do this week's readings and ask the ancestors for messages, I'm gonna do something special tomorrow morning at 9:09 a.m. Tomorrow at 9:09 a.m. I'm gonna log on to my Instagram live, my IG stories, and I'm going to divine live for lucky folks who are on at that time. And you're going to be able to ask me a question that I'll be able to ask the cards. And I'm going to do that tomorrow at 9:09 a.m. for a little while. So definitely turn on your notifications for that. And so let's get into this reading. So today is Monday, April 13th, 2020. And we are looking for guidance, right? So I'm asking the cards, the energy, the spirits, Egun, our guides, my guides. What do we need to know? What are we preparing for? What do we need to walk with? Oh, alrighty. Alrighty. And so let's get into this reading. I pulled out 3 cards. The first card is the Lily card. I'll pick up my phone in a moment. And the second card is the Ring card. And the third card, and the third card is the Black Fox. Let me raise this. There we go, much better. All right, so for today, Monday and Tuesday, we got the Lily cards. Let me show you it. Let me see, maybe that way is better, the light. The Lily card. And so I'll leave the So because this is a new deck, I like to see the messages that the artist wow, I just opened right to the page. So here's what it says. Hey there. The Lily card. There's arguably no greater comfort to the body than sex and sensual contact. The Lily card represents not only sex, but all forms of sensual contact, pleasure, touch, and enjoyment, able to signify both material and physical comforts. The Lily card ultimately represents physical experiences that we enjoy that bring us some sort of fulfillment. And as one of the positive cards of the deck, the Lily card can also bring illumination to all that is virtuous and good. It can be seen as a signal of virtue, purity, morality, and merciful justice. Wisdom and maturity are birthed and blossomed within the lily. The energy is calm and relaxed, but most of all, it is pure. It has 2 areas of divination. The first is love. If it's in love, the Lily card signifies a sincere love and or romance. Allow this relationship to take full blossom. If it's in career, you may have a lot of work experience in a certain area or have been at the same job for a long period of time and have created and established, have a respected position. Let's get back to this pleasure. For Monday and Tuesday, it's not surprising that we are not able to experience the pleasures that we are accustomed to. Many of us are feeling trapped. We are in this quarantine in our homes. Many people are not able to see lovers and people that they care for. You know, if you're someone who is, has a relationship and you're trying to get some, this is a time where all of that is on pause. All of us are on pause. And so the lily showing up, it makes sense because, we're missing contact, connection, touch, pleasure, enjoyment in all of its forms, right? And so the message is showing up to let us know that it's on the horizon. And there are ways that we need to be bringing pleasure to ourselves. So as we enter this week, there's a lot of tension and frustration and feeling like, we're not being satisfied, or we feeling in every area, right? The message, the lily it's speaking to sex, but it's all areas. Yes, we're emotional beings and we need touch. I was watching a video a little while ago and I had to stop watching videos. There was this mother who put a blanket over her daughter's head so that she could hug her and embrace her. And that made me really sad because, right now, for those of us who love to touch and love to be touched, this is a really hard time. This is a really hard time for us. And so touch yourself. I know that might sound weird for people. Touch yourself, please yourself, pleasure yourself, right? We're not able to be around those that we love, and there are things that we need, and so yeah. Monday and Tuesday, as we begin this week, it is about how can we satisfy ourselves? How can we bring sensual energy to our life, to our practice, to our spiritual practice, to our creative practice, to our emotional life, to our physical life? And so, yeah, I know people joining the video saying, "Oh, she's talking about touching herself." Listen, messages from the cards. For Wednesday and Thursday, the message we get is the ring. It is funny because, people are going to be like, what is happening? What are we talking about? Hang on. The ring. Are these numbered wrong? The ring. Let me show this message. Let me show this card. The ring is about commitments, right? Commitments, proposals. A symbol of contracts. The shape of the ring is circular, round, having no beginning, no end. It's binding, continuous. When a woman is given a ring, a proposal, that symbol of circular continuation is presented with the spiritual contract of love and commitment. So this card is all about those binding commitments. Let's talk about binding commitments. shall we? Let's talk about the binding commitment that we have to our ancestors, the binding commitment that we have to spirit, the binding commitment that we have. We came into this world with a contract. We came into this world with a contract, and we have been given very specific gifts to share with the world. And when we don't live our purpose, when we don't stand in our truth, we have broken that contract. We have not kept our commitment. So the ring showing up, the ring for those of you joining us right now, is asking us to look at what our commitments are. Are we following through? Are we doing what we say we want to do? I know that a lot of us are feeling like we don't know what to do with this time, and we're not sure that we want to be as creative as we should. We're feeling lost. We're feeling confused. Abu de bendición. We're doing a reading. We're talking about commitments, breaking commitments, and binding commitments. And so what I was just talking about is that we have a commitment and a contract that we signed at birth, and we are meant to live our highest, at our highest self, right? We are born, we inherited some things, and we're supposed to follow through on those contracts. And so for Wednesday and Thursday this week, you should be thinking about, yes, all of the things that you're worried about. Where's the money going to come? You know, how are we going to pay the bills? All of our gigs are on pause. Everything's on pause. Life feels like it's on pause. But really, we have been asked to slow down, to chill, and think about those commitments. What are we here to do? This is a wonderful time for us to be in reflection. This is a wonderful time for us to be getting to work, to getting down and dirty. This is a time for us to sign a new commitment, make new vows. You know, I was thinking about, this morning in meditation, I was thinking about all the ways that we have, I was asking the ancestors for forgiveness, for not listening to the ways that they have guided me or guide me or asked me to do something, or I'm told in my ita that this is what I need to do or whatever, right? And I feel like I'm gonna do what I want to do, even though Chango said this and Ogun said that and Oya said this and Yamaya said that. Sis thinks that sometimes that she's the one that rules the world, and the truth is that, we have been given a roadmap, and we're always gonna get there, but sometimes we take a different path that takes us off. So this is a wonderful time for us to get refocused, to really connect, to really listen, and to create a contract that feels good, to honor the contract, to honor what we're here to do, to honor those gifts, right? Because our last card that comes up is the Black Fox. The black fox. Let's see. Let's put this phone here for a moment. Because we in a hammock here in the Bronx. Because we were feeling like doing the reading very chillax tonight. All right, so the fox. And a girl can't see. Hang on a second. This is for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When the day is over and everything is done, the ultimate goal of the fox is success for himself and his family. Being both smart and cunning, this card generally applies to our day-to-day grind to make ends meet. The reality is, even with good intentions, sometimes you have to be clever to get ahead. Translated to possibly be a workaholic. The person of the fox, unfortunately, may not be trustworthy because it's all about their advancement for them, not yours. Ooh, we being asked to check our intentions. why it is that we're doing a certain thing. Is it for notoriety? Is it for fame? Is it about the people? You are not trustworthy. The fox is not trustworthy because it's about their advancement. They may use trickery and traps, so stay alert. Know that you deserve to survive just as much as they. For in the wild, it is survival of the fittest. Ache modupwe. Be prepared. If the question is in love, have caution in this union. In some way, you just may be being deceived. Some of y'all are being played right now. If it's in a career, this card can represent a traditional day-to-day job and the shady behavior that can take place within the workplace. A backstabbing may be approaching. Stay ready. And in health, if you recently checked out, get a second opinion. So let's get back to this untrustworthy fox and the things that we need to look out to. Let's talk about that for a minute as we close the week, because this is for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is something to reflect on, right? So the fox is all about providing for the family, right? The unit, the tribe, right? And so that's happening first. That's coming first. Our immediate household. We're worrying about these folks first. But what the cards are saying is, let's keep it humble. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it cute, right? Because in this, that's going to be one of the things that I worry about and have been worrying about with this pandemic is where we're from, right? Those of us who are from these streets, the Bronx, Harlem, Bushwick, like we know a certain level of poverty and we know a certain level of desperation. So we know when shit gets rough, and it will, that sometimes people get hurt, right? When people need to feed their babies and their families, and you know, things get hard. You know, we'll start to see crime go up. We'll start to see people like stealing from one another because they're lacking. Just in like seeing shit at the market, like people going to get like 5 packages of toilet paper, and you have, you know, folks who are trying to yank it out of each other's hands. Here we're being called to A, know that we have enough, right? And B, protect ourselves from people who are dishonest, protect ourselves from that mental desperation, that poverty mindset, that fear and worry that can trick us into believing that we don't have enough and that we are not enough, right? So like when I see stuff about career and backstabbing, the truth is that we know there are a lot of foxes in these streets, in these jobs that we're working at. And so I think that's sort of par for the course. It's keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open, know who's in front of you, and continue to protect your tribe. I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, grinding for your people, for your family, but there is something beautiful about thinking about the human family, you know, the community, the collective, the culture. So yeah, family, those are your cards for this week. I hope that there's a message that resonates with you. I hope that this week you tread with a lot of love and a lot of peace. You know, really focus on the Lily card and really focus on the Ring card, right? I really want this week to feel like you're focusing on pleasure, giving yourself pleasure, and how can you honor your commitments while at the same time looking out for those foxes, you know? All right, family, have a beautiful evening. Bendición abure. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace. I'm not loving this deck. This deck, I'm not loving it.